Number 5. Misanthrope's Homestead is a small 2-story house on an island in the coastal highway region. Easily reached by crossing the thick ice, this house should have a substantial amount of supplies, mainly in the form of processed foods and clothing. Aside from wolves often surrounding the island, there is a small cave which may be accompanied by a bear. Misanthrope's Homestead is generally safe if you're on the island, quite close to fishing huts, and has a toilet you can drink out of. But, like the name implies, it is secluded and far away from the rest of the region's structures, has no stove or fireplace, no workbench, and wolves and bears can block paths or kill you if you're careless. 3 out of 10, mostly because of the toilet. Number 4. Jackrabbit Island is the other island off the coastal highway. This island is better than Misanthrope's Homestead in almost every way. Along with considerable loot, sometimes including a revolver or hunting rifle, the island is home to many cute and tasty rabbits just waiting to be snared. Jackrabbit Island is better than Misanthrope's Homestead with the same secluded vibe, close to fishing huts, a great source of rabbits for pelt, guts, and meat, and has a toilet that you can drink out of, but has no stove or fireplace, no workbench, and still somewhat far away from the rest of civilization. 6 out of 10, because it's safe, has rabbits, and has a toilet you can drink out of. Number 3. The log sort's main structure is a trailer with beds, food, and sometimes even a hatchet or lantern. While there is no toilet, there is ample storage space if you are one to sort your inventory on shelves. Being closer to the road, there is the potential for roaming wolves, but the flat terrain makes it easy to dash back to the safety of the trailer. If you're lucky, you will find a few deer carcasses waiting to be scavenged, and sometimes this extra building will be inhabitable, providing extra loot and a more homey feel. The log sort is close to the meat of the map, has ample storage space, and is close to fishing huts, but being near the road introduces wolves coming by land in addition to by sea, has no stove or fireplace, and no toilet. 7 out of 10 because the proximity to the rest of the map offsets the lack of toilet water. Number 2. The fishing camp contains a few cabins for looting and breaking down reclaimed wood, but the beauty of this location is its extreme closeness to a fishing hut and an exterior workbench. If you have ever had cabin fever in the long dark, you know it's a bad time. By working outside when weather permits, you can avoid the risk when completing long projects. There will occasionally be a bear greeting you at your front door, but the risk of wolf and bear attacks is low due to the multiple safe buildings to dive into. The fishing camp is quite safe if you utilize the many cabins, extremely close to fishing huts, the closest on this list, has an outdoor workbench for avoiding cabin fever, and a fair bit of storage. But you can't work on the workbench during blizzards, has no stove or fireplace, and no toilet. 8 out of 10, easy for surviving long term, but maybe a little boring. Number 1. Yes, the Quonset Garage is one of the most unique and interesting structures that gives the coastal highway its charm. With tons of loot, multiple workbenches, fire barrel, and more storage space than you could probably use, the Quonset easily takes the number 1 spot at the cost of safety. While it is clearly the coolest and most fun place to hunker down in a never-ending blizzard, the Quonset is almost constantly surrounded by wolves, bears, and the occasional moose just itching to end your life. Yes, even the moose. If you are careful and use vehicles and intact buildings to your advantage, it can be an excellent location for long-term survival. The Quonset is quite central on the map, has an indoor workbench, is the only structure on the list with a fire barrel, is great for organizers, and has toilet water. But with wolves constantly lurking about, and the risk of other dangerous animals, extreme caution must be exercised. 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 being reserved for the best of the best, and this place, while awesome, is a little too spooky when I just want to enjoy the quiet apocalypse. Honorable mention. The abandoned lookout has, without a doubt, the best view in the coastal highway. Not much to offer in the way of lootable containers or furniture, but it is a great spot for a peaceful getaway from the hustle and bustle of the highway down below. Due to the long trek or climb, and distance from fishing huts and most of the town, it doesn't quite meet the requirements of a good home base, but I can't argue with that view. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for upcoming Long Dark content as Tales from the Far Territory is set to release in December, and stay warm.